Okay. All right. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? This is Tatted and Tattered here. My name is B. David. This is
Young Pete.
All right, cool. So tonight we are going to talk about what do you do when things just do not go your way? Pete. Like, Pete, when something happens and you expected it to go one way, or you've been wanting it to go a certain way, and then all of a sudden it just does not go your way.
Disappointing. That's the one word that comes to mind. It's just bad. It's bad. But you know what? It never stays bad. It actually works out. It does work out.
What do you mean?
Because life happens.
For
right?
some people, what do you mean it work out? For some people, it don't work out.
Well, all right, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. That's the cliche, right?
Okay.
That's what they say.
Okay.
We're still alive.
Yeah.
What experiences can you say that you've noticed has been something that totally didn't go the way you thought? And it ended up being...
No, but you're right. I know what you mean. You're right, though, because, I mean, for the believer anyway, I know everything works for our good.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just disappointing when it doesn't happen the way that you wanted it to happen. You said that's your life.
That's my life. Oh, yeah. No, because listen, man, it starts back when we were kids, right? We want to go somewhere. We're promised that we're going to be taken somewhere. We're going to go to a theme park. We're going to go somewhere fun. And then all of a sudden we're hyped up, and then all of a sudden we get the news that, oh, well, we can't do it this weekend. And even then, as a kid, you're disappointed. You're distraught. We don't even understand, like, it's not that serious at the time, but it's a big deal. But it starts there, and then we get older and we graduate from school and all this other stuff. Or if we don't graduate, we're like, what's next?
Right. And
then we have these plans, man. You know what the truth is, man? Even working out, we came back from the gym today, right? We work out. And then we get this good sweat, and the goal is fitness. We want to be healthy, but we also want to look good, right? So we work out really good for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, the whole thing just gets demolished because we fall short in our food game. So the plan was, I'm gonna look like this. I'm gonna look like this in 2 weeks, right? But we still got the. So again, even in that, there's certain things we can control when things don't go our way. Yeah. And there's certain things that are totally out of our control.
Yeah. Two things I was thinking about today, there are two ways to look at it. So there's some situations where when it doesn't work out and the door closes, then that door should probably just stay shut. Okay. But then there are other situations where it doesn't work out and you still have to keep pursuing it. You still have to keep going after it. So the key is discerning which is which. Which is it when the door is supposed to be totally shut, you're not supposed to go after it anymore, don't pursue it, leave it alone, versus when it's something that you still need to go after. And I think a lot about people who are in the entertainment industry, 100%. Actors, musicians, all that, you present yourself before people and you get rejected. And you're thinking, oh my God, I failed. And then some people just quit. Or they tail off, or they don't have as much passion and enthusiasm as they had before because the door was shut in that moment. But what you're supposed to do is keep going after it if that's your dream. You know what I mean? You feel what I'm trying to say?
So when do we know when to let it go?
Right.
When do we have the unction or the sign of knowing this is not it anymore?
I think that's the question. It's like, trying to figure that out, trying to discern what that is. Because I think if it's a dream, if it's a passion that you have, how can you give up on that? You know what I mean? If it's something that you believe God put on the inside of you to pursue and to go after, how can you give up on that? I think the part is like figuring out, okay, the directions that you're supposed to go in. Like, God, when you shut this door over here, what direction am I supposed to go in? But not completely quitting. Like, oh, okay, now I need to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Or now I need to be, I don't know, a politician or whatever. But no, you need to continue in the vein that you're going in. If you really believe that's what you're supposed to do and who you are. But I think you need to figure that out,
What if there's a change in plans that calls for us to, for a season, step out of what we're comfortable with and what we've been used to?
Okay, that's a good one. You need to talk to me about that because that's true. Because I've done that. I've done it where, I was pursuing something, going after it with my whole heart, right? and then something happened bad, and I let it go because of the circumstances surrounding it. And then I let it tail off, but it really didn't die on the inside of me.
Exactly.
It keeps coming back up again. So now it's like trying to reboot and figure out, okay, well, what do I need to do now to get it going again? You know, and to start again. You know what I'm saying?
I know
because
exactly.
it's still a dream that's like fire inside of me. You know.
And I'm asking questions only because I think in my life where I'm at right now, I realize that there's some new things happening. Like again, I've prefaced this before. I spoke before. Tatted and tattered. Tattered and tatted.
Tatted and tattered.
Tatted and tatted.
Tattered and tatted.
All of that. Listen, let me tell you this. I'll just say this much. I never expected this part, right? And this part now has been such a blessing. I don't know how many people out there can really feel the same way, but I know for me, it's been very therapeutic. It's been something that I didn't know I needed, right? But it was something that was a part of a transition that I didn't know was going to happen. Like I'm used to being in a certain place in a certain era of genre, music, and all that stuff for a period of time, almost like a decade. So when that turns into something new, that's not what I expected. I didn't write that down. I didn't say, okay, God, at this time I want to be out of something. What's amazing is we go to God and we put on our vision boards, we want to be in something, but we never plan to be out of something. Unless it's something that we understand is going to be another step to whatever our own goal is. But if it has nothing to do with our goal, we never say, okay, God, well, let this be something you want for my life, no matter what it looks like, and I'll just step out on it. But now I'm there. Now I'm at that place. Now I feel like that's why I feel personally when things don't go the way I thought it should, I've learned to sort of embrace it. And it's weird because you can find a routine and a regimen that makes you feel like you're doing something. And then there's a moment when things change and you're doing nothing. Yeah. And in those moments, it's almost having more to trust God and more to be still and having more faith. Because what's funny is I would want wealth, but the irony about having wealth is money becomes your employee, so you do less in the sense of you can afford time. So where you want to acquire wealth, you have to learn how to even have time for you and have time, period. Like it's weird to just want to make money and keep working to the point like this morning I saw E.T. This morning I watched Eric Thomas, amazing hip hop motivational speaker, and he was talking about how he's been pushing so hard to get to where he's been or where he is now, successful, millionaire status. I mean, world renowned. But now he said he does 6 weeks on and 1 week off. Because that 1 week is him shutting down, spending time with his wife, for himself. Like it don't matter what comes in that 1 week. It could be a commercial. He's gained so much wealth that he can pick and choose. But the irony is, when things change in our lives and we didn't expect it to change that way, and we're not doing and we're not being what we think we're supposed to be each day because we're not being productive or we're not acting in something, the irony is to be still, to be faithful, to still be able to understand that this is a transition. It's not what I expected, but something good is going to come out of it. I'm going to still do what I know I'm supposed to do. I'm still going to eat right. I'm still going to, have a optimistic stance. I'm going to think positively. I'm going to read. To still feed yourself, and that is something that's a challenge. But when you get wealth, you realize that you're going back to a place where you still have to be patient. You still have to have more faith. You still have to realize that you have time. You can afford time. So now you don't have to keep hustling and bustling and grinding.
Yeah,
so
when you're on the mountaintop,
that's what I'm saying.
You feel like you don't have to work as hard.
That's what I'm saying.
I probably too, if we would ask him, E.T. about his life, he would probably just talk about all those demarcation points where he had to, press past this, go past this, do this. I'm thinking about a spoken word artist, one of my friends. She would say, "Do the next right thing." What's the next right thing, that you're supposed to do? Beyond the disappointment, beyond the failure, beyond the closed door, the people who don't like you. You know what I'm saying? What's the next right thing that you're supposed to do to accomplish what you believe you're supposed to accomplish, in your life? And that's another thing too, man, how we allow people, to drive us into certain areas too. You know what I'm saying? Or their disappointment or their wants, their dreams 100%. And their desires 100%. For you. You tend to take on those things, in your life instead of being pointed and focused with what you believe you're supposed to do, not worrying about, what they think or what they say. And I'm not saying to discard wisdom or loving relationships, people that love you and speak into your life and stuff like that and tell you, and hey, I don't think you should do this, or blah, blah. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that, if there's something inside of you that's burning that you're supposed to do, you can't allow any voice to deter you from that. Any voice. You got to stay focused and press forward, as hard as you can. Into it, and sometimes that's really hard. That is hard to do. You looking at the circumstances around you, it is hard. No money,
No, for real.
I mean, you got struggles maybe going on in your relationships. Yep. Some of you may have children, and you're looking at them and their dreams and what they want and desire. All these things can get in the way of what you're supposed to do, but you can't allow those things to push you back. It may be a season where, you have to lay off just a little bit in order to allow for something, but you can't let those things die in your life. You got to keep that fire going so that you can accomplish what you're supposed to.
So listen, all of what was said, that was so good. Don't let things die. And if it is, you have to make space. Create space so that something else can show up and something new can show up in your life and show you who you are. Because each thing that turns out, what did they say? A setback is a setup for a comeback, right? That's what I've heard some ministers say. But it's real. This opportunity to let a moment come in that has never been there, just give it a chance, because again, things may not work out the way you want it, but it works out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, and you said it in the beginning, how really those moments are moments of growth.
There it is.
Those are moments to help mature you and to grow you up into who you're supposed to be. Because if you didn't have failure, you wouldn't grow. That's just the bottom line. If things were just coasting, you would not be growing, So you need those moments. You need that.
And the last thing I'll add to that and say for me is, I heard this at the gym, at the YMCA, man. This brother was working hard. And the lady was like, God, one of his friends, oh, you're doing such a great job, man. It looks like it's pretty hard. It's pretty painful. You know what this man said? Pain is weakness leaving the body. And I
heard that before.
it was so good. It was just so good. So anything that we obviously want to grow in, man, you got to go through it. You got to go through it. You got to go through all of the changes. Man, look at the earth. Look at Mother Nature. Mother Nature got all kind of cycles. You know what I'm saying? She got 4 cycles for us. And we still got to go through it to look forward to, what's that, spring and summer? I look forward to spring.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know what I'm talking
wait for the spring now. And the summer, look.
so go
in tanks,
you know what I'm saying?
Ball shirts,
go through
shorts.
it. Go through it looking forward to it. Go through it looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
Whatever that it is. Come on, ministry.
Yeah. I mean, it's just going to make us stronger. That's just the bottom line. Well, y'all enjoyed that? I hope so. All right. We love y'all so much. And we will see y'all later. What do we normally say? He that has ears to hear, let them hear.
Let them hear. Hold on. I got one more thing. One more thing.
What
ready?
What you got?
Hold on,
can we hear that organ?
We just got one more thing. This how we gonna end. Say it now.
He that has ears to hear, let him hear. I can shout now. I can. I'm not joking. I can shout, y'all. For real.